You know, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan for almost 22 years now, I will sit down here and openly say this. I was spoiled big time by Big Ben. I really was. I was spoiled heavily for 18 years with Big Ben, a Hall of Fame quarterback, a guy who always came through, who more often than not came through in the clutch. And I sit back and I look at this guy, Kenny Pickett, a guy who I tried to give chance after chance after chance because I wanted to believe so badly that he's the guy, that he's the predecessor for Big Ben, and it just hasn't happened. It really just hasn't happened. What is going on, everybody? I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow him on Instagram, link in the box below. This is my Monday morning. Yes, I'm a little bit more calmed down, you can say, from my post-game yesterday with the 13-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns, and any way you want to pin it on, or any one that you want to pin it on. Yes, the two drives that we had in the fourth quarter to win the game and the play calling and the lack of execution by it were god-awful. Mike Tomlin's lack of communication was god-awful once again. But the main culprit for yesterday is number 8. I'm done with Kenny Pickett. I'm done with him. I'm not giving him any more chances. I've sat down here and went to bat for him, not doing it anymore. I've stuck up for him as much as I could, not doing it anymore. How am I supposed to sit down here and defend a guy who's a one-read quarterback, panics in the pocket every single time a defender comes up in him, and a guy who had 77 net passing yards yesterday, 64 if you want to count the sacks that he took. 94 total, but 77 net passing yards yesterday. And I'm telling you right now, you Kenny Pickett stands and apologists are running out of excuses for him. This is a guy who got outplayed by a rookie quarterback who's a third stringer for the Cleveland Browns. And he was making his second career start yesterday, and it's his first career win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you know what? At this point, who doesn't outplay Kenny Pickett? DTR outplayed him yesterday. Tommy DeVito from the New York Giants outplayed him yesterday. Tommy DeVito, who the hell is that? He threw 3 touchdowns yesterday against Washington. Hey, that's 3 more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett had all day yesterday. And then, of course, like I said, you want to blame that terrible 2-minute offense that we had towards the end of the game. I don't disagree at all, because Matt Canada is a horrendous play caller, and I really do think the 2 weeks prior to this game against Cleveland were flukes. But guess how many yards Kenny Pickett threw in that 2-minute offense? You know, because he's Kenny Clutch and he's comeback Kenny. He threw 0 yards, a big old donut with that 2-minute offense, because Kenny Pickett badly, and I mean badly, overshot every single guy that he was targeting. And you know what? It's like the targets were there for him to pull off the execution. And he was playing this bad against lesser competition as well. Not just against the number 1 defense in the league, but against lesser competition as well. Tennessee, Green Bay, Vegas. I don't really know at the top of my head who else at this particular moment, but you get it. Lesser competition, he's been playing this poorly as well. And you just want to sit back and give him the benefit of the doubt because his fourth quarter comebacks and his comeback wins are sexy on his resume. Well, guess what? He had a chance to do it yesterday against the Browns. What did he do with it? Absolutely nothing at all. Or how about weeks prior against the Jaguars? Oh, if Kenny Pickett was totally healthy in that game, I believe he would have done it. No, I don't think he would have done it then. And like I said, not only was he missing Deontay Johnson, he was missing him badly. 77 net total yards for Kenny Pickett, which equates to 3.8 yards per pass for him. He's just not the guy. I've sat down here and defended him, not doing it no more. I've given him every benefit of the doubt because Matt Canada is trash, not doing it anymore. But let me ask you guys this, because I know you love to compare him to Terry Bradshaw and Big Ben. Stop doing that, by the way. Okay? Stop with the comparisons. I have seen that too, by the way. Oh, Bradshaw had a terrible rookie season. Oh, Big Ben wasn't supposed to start in 2004. First of all, there were completely different leagues back then where every single aspect of the game wasn't predicated around the quarterback having his life easy as possible. And second, they had redeeming qualities. Same thing with the QBs that I saw when I first became a fan back in the early 2000s with Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox. Was Cordell Stewart a superstar? Absolutely not. Was Tommy Maddox a superstar? Absolutely not. But they had redeeming qualities to them. Cordell Stewart was a master at trick plays. Loved running them wildcat plays. Was great with his legs. And yeah, he had a pretty decent arm when his number was called up to it. Tommy Maddox, at least he had that fluke 2002 season to fall back on. What does Kenny Pickett have to fall back on? Nothing at all. Oh, what, a couple of comeback wins in 2022 and a couple this year? I counter that with saying he got himself in that situation because of his play style. He's a one-read guy, and he did it yesterday again. He's a one-read quarterback, never surveys the field, refuses to survey the field, refuses to take shots down the field, has terrible, and I mean terrible pocket presence. Every time a lineman, a linebacker, a defensive end, whatever you want to say, every time a defender comes up in his face, the guy panics and he over pursues the pocket. Every time he's rolling in the pocket, stares down the guy, tries to force passes. Let me ask you guys this, though, like I was saying about the comparisons. If today's league, where you know as well as I do, today's league is offense heavy, offense happy, and the league today is predicated around the quarterback having his life cut out for him to be as easy as possible and all these rules to protect him, and throwing for 300 yards as a quarterback nowadays is like routine and the average, then how come Kenny Pickett can't do it? It's his playing ability. It's his playing ability. Did he even use his tight ends yesterday? Oh yeah, he did with Pat Freiermuth. One target for 7 yards on a screen play. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. He's a one-read QB, panics in the pocket, stares down receivers, forces passes, refuses to take shots down the field. I've never seen a QB throw so many checkdowns in my life. And like these people, and not even just fans, but it's the coaching staff as well. Mike Tomlin's words, not mine. Oh, Kenny Pickett's awesome in the fourth quarter. Really, Mike? He's awesome? Then explain yesterday with that 2-minute offense where Kenny Pickett had 0 yards passing and badly overshot 3 straight passes. Explain how awesome that is. He has no confidence in himself. He has no composure in himself. Okay? And what good is it going to be if the Steelers bench Kenny Pickett and have Mason Rudolph play? Oh, it's going to hurt Kenny Pickett's confidence. Like I said, he's got no confidence in himself. Only Kenny Pickett can fix Kenny Pickett. And it's not a hard argument to make that if you look at all of the 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, you would not be wrong in saying Kenny Pickett might be the worst starting quarterback in the league. Okay, he's definitely bottom 3. He's maybe better than Zach Wilson. He's maybe better than Mac Jones. But those are really the only 2 QBs that I put him above. He's easily bottom 3. And the thing is, the mistakes that he makes are so fixable. If he would just take shots down the field, if he would just, be able to process a decision. The NFL is fast. You got to process a decision like that. His mind moves too slow. For God's sake, I was sitting back watching that Broncos-Vikings game last night, and I'm not taking anything away from Josh Dobbs. The dude's been an awesome story this year. I hope to God he keeps it up. I'm rooting for him. But you look at Josh Dobbs, a guy who's been on 3 teams in a year, 2 teams in a month. He can do it. Tom Brady in his early 40s. He can do it. DTR yesterday. He could even do it at times. I'm trying to think of who else. Bryce Young, it looks like he can do it. Kenny Pickett can't. The NFL's too fast for him. And if you can't process a decision in a millisecond like that, you're not a starting quarterback. Yesterday, during the game, CBS kept showing, you want a good example of how quarterbacks can sometimes just need a coach or whatever, a change of scenery, a change of something to make them better. Look at Trevor Lawrence. But the difference is, Trevor Lawrence, we always knew that he was a talented quarterback. I know the Urban Meyer situation was a disaster, and Doug Peterson's down there now, and Trevor Lawrence is, in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback in the league. Okay? But you look at yesterday, CBS kept showing clips from the Titans-Jags game yesterday where Trevor Lawrence was surveying the field. His targets are being locked down. And at least 2 of them, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to take this myself and stroll on in for a touchdown with my legs. Kenny Pickett can't do that. He refuses to do that because he's so focused on one guy and defenses pick up on it. His reads are late, his reads are off, and he's not smart with the football. Plain and simple. He just doesn't do that. And no, and while, yes, I am the last person on earth who would ever defend Matt Canada, because I do think Matt Canada is a terrible OC, but it's time to wake up and face facts, Steeler fans. Kenny Pickett's not the guy. And at this point, I really don't even think it would matter if we get a replacement for Matt Canada, because it's going to be the same kind of play style every single week with Kenny Pickett. You know? It really is. I don't know what else the Steelers can do offensively to make him better, because you look at yesterday, gets bulldozed by Myles Garrett, panicked in the pocket, rolls around too much, tries to force passes. It really is a shame that we had so much hype and hope for this guy, and screw all of us for buying the preseason that Kenny Pickett had. Okay? Screw all of us for believing in it. How am I supposed to sit down here and defend a guy who can't crack triple digits with passing yards, who can't have multi-touchdown pass games, a guy who's a one-read quarterback, a guy who never tries to make a play on his own when his targets are being locked down, a guy who's not smart with the football. Oh, but he hasn't thrown an interception in 6 games. Oh, so that automatically means he's improving? No, he's not. Sure, he's cut down on the turnovers, but he is not improved. Stop using that. Like I said, only Kenny Pickett can fix Kenny Pickett at this point. How am I supposed to believe that when he has 3.8 yards per pass, 77 total net yards, consistently holds this offense back, overshoots and undershoots guys, has late reads, stares down receivers, and takes unnecessary sacks? How am I supposed to believe that he's going to turn it around? You can't turn a corner when you're running around in a circle. And that's what Kenny Pickett is. You know, I mean, I'll always sit down here and hope that he has a good game, but my faith in him is gone. And he is going to have to do a complete 180 for me to have even the smallest fraction of hope that I have moving forward with him. Because for as much as the prospects look right for 2024 or 2025 or whatever with QBs, I stand by my statement that, hey, 2025 rolls around, we should be going after a quarterback in the draft, because it's very clear to me Kenny Pickett was an absolute waste of a first-round pick. He's just not the guy. Period, point blank with this video. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below about Kenny Pickett in general. I think I've made it pretty clear that he ain't the guy in my opinion, and I've lost all hope with him. But let me know what you think. This is Mac checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.